This special feature is produced by Democracy at Work for Workers Independent News. This is Richard Wolff for Democracy at Work. You know, the people who run the biggest corporations in the United States are fond of telling the rest of us that we ought to be happy that they control most of what happens in this economy because they know what they're doing, they're the big shots, they've risen to the top, and we're in good hands because the capitalist system that they preside over delivers the goods. Well, I don't believe it. And now we have evidence, if we ever needed it, of a stunning example of how this isn't true. We are currently seeing the wholesale collapse of oil and gas companies across the United States. To be precise, 59 oil and gas companies are now bankrupt with this last week's filings. The number of U.S. energy bankruptcies is closing in on the staggering 68 filings that occurred in the telecom industry between 2002 and 2003. And we expect even more. We expect oil and gas to collapse even worse than the tech boom became the tech bubble back then. What went on? Oil companies decided they knew what was to be done and how to do it. They were going to invest in fracking. They were going to destroy parts of this country, pump chemicals into the ground, create earthquakes, but it would all pay off because they would get oil and gas and they'd become billionaires and we would be the nation that would save the world. A whole lot of BS. What they did was to forget that if the United States produces a lot more oil and the rest of the world doesn't need a lot more oil, the price of oil is going to collapse, which is what it did, which is why they're going bankrupt, which is why banks are in trouble because they lent billions to them. Bankers, oil companies, they're not the people to put our confidence in. They make colossal mistakes. We ought not to have confidence. We ought to see that a better economic system is what we need sooner, not later. This is Richard Wolff for Democracy at Work and for Workers Independent News.